Shakti Mudra, mudra for respiration, especially the lower one, a mudra for a good night's sleep. One that gives us strength, the life energy. Because Shakti herself is the goddess of life energy, for which we touch the little fingertip and the ring fingertip pads. We loosely fold the middle finger and the index finger in such a way that the knuckles join, and we place the thumbs inside the Shakti Mudra, and we then focus our breathing in the pelvic and slow it down very, very slowly. So the exhalations become longer than the inhalations. Keep your eyes closed when you do Shakti Mudra and do as needed. Can be done for 12 minutes daily. This is for better sleep, especially the night one. This is for respiration, especially the lower lungs. Shakti Mudra intensifies the respiratory impulses, reduces craving, activates the lower chest area, can increasingly help in perceiving the pelvic area's breathing. It has a very calming effect and can help us fall asleep well at night. This Shakti Mudra with eyes gently closed, thumbs are into the index and the middle finger. Ring finger pad and little finger pad are touching each other. What a fabulous mudra. One which helps lower respiration, one which helps for sleep, one which can increase our exhalations, one which is symbolized by the goddess of energy. In this Shakti Mudra, let us try to do Swan Pranayama. As much Swan Pranayama as possible, pumping our lungs with oxygenated air, especially the lower lungs, the lower lobe. In case you need a little pause midway, go right ahead and restart immediately. The panting dog, Swan Pranayama in Shakti Mudra. For problems associated with sleep, so sleep disorders, to get a good night's sleep, to breathe better from the lower lung lobes, to increase our respiration, especially the exhalations. Great for a post-COVID recovery, great for immunity, amazing for the lungs, hence for asthma, bronchitis, fibrosis, convulsions, lung disorders, congestions. Shakti Mudra, where the little fingertip and the ring finger pad touch each other, soft folds of the index and the middle fingers at the knuckles, thumbs inside, gently pressed by them. And we are currently doing Swan Pranayama. So we are in a mudra, we are in an asana, we are in a pranayam, Swan Pranayam, Shakti Mudra, seated sage pose. Discontinue Swan Pranayama and watch with your mind's eye this Shakti Mudra. Now we are going to combine two mudras. So we are going to do Kechari Mudra with Shakti Mudra. The tip of the tongue will fold in such a way that it goes all the way in. So it's folded. So in that the tongue is in a flap. And in that, holding the Kechari Mudra, we do Ujjayi breathing, one which beautifies our voice, one which reverses fears, one which balances the thyroid secretions. Remember, we are in two mudras currently, the Shakti Mudra and the Kechari Mudra. Getting back into the discipline of talking less, not being repetitive. I use the phrase verbal diarrhea for this, which means there are so many times when we torture others by being repetitive. And we torture and traumatize ourselves much, much, much more than we torture someone else who's hearing us. This Kechari Mudra is all about our tongue. For it to behave itself rather than flapping all the time, rattling all the time. Kechari Mudra is looking for that Amrit Ras, which can happen only when there is an inner silence, Antar Maun. Ujjayi Pranayama, Kechari Mudra, as Shakti Mudra continues. Last 3 rounds of Ujjayi. Open up the Shakti Mudra. Don't do any palming. Don't do any other Nasagraha Mudra. We're now going to do Vitalizing Pranayama After we do a Shodhan cleansing pranayam, followed by a stabilizing pranayam. Here goes. 1 Kapalbhati, 3 Bhastrika, followed by 1 Ujjayi. 1 Kapalbhati, followed by 3 Bhastrika, followed by 1 Ujjayi. 1 Kapalbhati, followed by 3 Bhastrika, followed by 1 Ujjayi. Continue doing this amazing inner engineering of our breaths, going to the deepest part of our being, trying to remember the count, actually moving from a cleanser, Shodhan Kriya, which is Kapalbhati, to a vitalizing, that is energizing pranayam, to an Ujjayi, that is a stabilizing one. Notice how literally so much happens within. As Pujya Shri Sadguru says, Sadguruji says that inner engineering can come with a lot of antarmaun, and inner silence will only happen when we get our breaths back in place. We discontinue this combo of 1 Kapalbhati, 3 Bhastrikas, and 1 Ujjayi, and we get comfortable in a seated sage pose. Any seated sage pose, Vajrasan, Veerasan, Sukhasan, Padmasan, Siddhasan, Siddhayoni Asan. And we bring our little fingertip, ring fingertip pads together, gently folding our index finger and middle finger with thumbs inside. Engulf the thumbs with the index and the middle finger to come into Shakti Mudra, the mudra for respiration, the mudra for good sleep, the mudra for snoring, for sleep apnea, the mudra about the lower pelvic area. Shakti Mudra, a mudra of the goddess of life energy. And in this Shakti Mudra now, we are once again going to do equal breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And why we call this combination of 7:9 ratio and equal breath is because problems, stresses, pollution, noise pollution, daily lives or situations get our breath not only erratic but make our exhalations more shallow and shorter than our inhalations. So we bring the breath back to equal by increasing our exhalation by a count of 2. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Stay with the ratio of 7:9 for your equal breath, Samavritti Pranayama, in this dynamic Shakti Mudra in any seated sage pose. Samavritti Pranayama can also be combined with Ujjayi. So one can breathe in the Ujjayi breath, the throat breath, the victorious breath, the breath for thyroid, the breath to reverse fears, those associated with relationships, with finances. So one can do an Ujjayi in the ratio of 7:9 in Samavritti Pranayama. As we do Shakti Mudra. Continuing to stay in Shakti Mudra, we go into Kechari Mudra, that is tongue, tip goes all the way back. Fold your tongue, flap it. Two mudras, two pranayams. Shakti Mudra for respiration, for sleep. Two pranayams for equal breath, Samavritti, in Ujjayi. Shakti Mudra, Kechari Mudra, Samavritti Pranayam 7:9 continues. Inhale, exhale, Pura Karecha. And this in Ujjayi, as you inhale and exhale, there is friction in the throat pit, making a sound at the glottis, epiglottis, larynx. Golden nuggets is what I'm giving each one of you. Golden nuggets. So many benefits. Sleeplessness, sleep apnea and snoring, respiration, the lower one, lower pelvic area, all about getting our breath back to Tasmin Sati Shwas Parshwasar Gati Vicheda Pranayama. Coming into that equal breath when the inhalations and exhalations can hardly be felt. What Pujya Sadhguruji says, inner engineering, to delve within, stay with the count. Shakti Mudra can be done up to 3 times for 12 minutes each through a day. Kechari Mudra can be done up to 3 times for 12 minutes. If we are beginners, the tongue can feel tired and you have to relax it and then do it later at some other point. Ujjayi has no contraindications, nor does equal breath. Samavritti Pranayama. Release the Kechari Mudra now. Release the Shakti Mudra, open up. Discontinue the combination of Samavritti Pranayama with Ujjayi. And change the sage pose that you are seated in. So if you're seated in Vajrasana, come into Virasana. If you're in Virasana, come into Vajrasana. If you're in Sukhasana, come into Padmasana. If you're in Padmasana, come into Siddha Yoni Asana. If you're in Siddha Yoni Asana, come into any other posture, which means shift. Come out of that one comfort zone into another, trying to get the next into comfort zone too. To start with abdominal breathing, inhale, inflate the abdomen like a balloon. Exhale, bring it back to normal. Full-on abdominal breath. In a changed asana, coming out of the comfort zone. Any seated posture, any meditative posture. I'm currently seated in Padmasana. If I open up one and press the toes of the other in the fold, I'm in Siddha Asana. If I'm a male, and Siddha Yoni Asana, if I'm a female. If I have a knee problem, I sit in Dandasana, straight legs, and continue doing my abdominal breaths. If I want a little change and want to do another seated posture, I come into Bhaktakon Asana, where I do a prayer, a namaste with the soles of my feet to do abdominal breaths. I can gently infuse a Titali Asana while I do it too, inhaling knees up, exhaling knees down. making sure I don't take away from abdominal breathing. If I'm unable to experience the lift of the abdomen and it going back, then I can pick up my t-shirt or shirt, place my palm on my navel, literally on the skin of my belly, to watch, to check if I'm breathing big in my inhalations, going back to normal on my exhalations, to make sure I've said good morning and woken up my liver, my spleen, my gallbladder, my large and small intestines, my stomach. That's about the organs. My pancreas, that's about my endocrine system. The muscles out there, that's about my muscular system. Making sure that blood is being pumped into every system there, every organ there. That's about my circulatory and respiratory system. That's also about my excretory system. Big abdominal breaths, reminding yourselves that every time you inhale, you will push the pelvic platform down on your mat, on your asana. Every time you exhale, you will bring it back to normal. Feel freedom in the abdomen, in the organs, in the systems. And for these last 3 rounds, do a Savitri Pranayama abdominal breath, which means inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Abdomen is inflated. Hold 2, 3, 4. Abdomen stays inflated. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Abdomen is back to normal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Abdomen stays normal. Purak, Antar Kumbhak, Recha, Bahir Kumbhak. Ratio 8:4:8:4. Get ready to discontinue abdominal breaths in Savitri Pranayam's count. To get ready to open the eyes to end the session, first take awareness on sounds that you may be hearing near or in distances. around you in the room that you may be in or the open areas that you may be in. Having acknowledged sounds, pleasant, unpleasant, near, distant, slowly prepare to open the eyes to end the session. If you wish, close them again. If you just don't feel like opening them, then open them out slowly, ready, geared, and charged for the day. Thank you.